I clean that off. Ah, dude. All right, I'm in bed. About to call it. I go to bed early. I go to bed like 9:30 every day. I'm old. All right, so let me tell you all this story of myself and when I was younger. Uh, I wanted to bleach my skin to be white. Now, I got terrorized. And, for one, shout out to Rashida Strober. Go check out her channel. Uh, I forgot exactly what it's named, but go check her out. She is the black activist, the dark skinned activist. And she talks about a lot of topics concerning dark skinned people, so go check her out. She's doing good work. Also, buy her book and hit her cash up. I think it's Rashida Lala, something like that. That's her cash app. My cash app is Tone2022. Anyways, um, so yeah, when I was younger, I had a complex because black people who I grew up around would call me black. They call me darky. They call me Kit, Night Rider. You know, and they were just as dark as me. They would call me everything to degrade me and laugh at me, but they were all my complexion. Uh, when I was in middle school, I lived in the hood in Braddock, PA, where 90%, excuse me, 99% of the people in my hood were all black. There was one white couple, and 70% of them were dark skinned people. There was not too many light skinned people in my hood. The majority of us were dark like me. And my neighbors, the Bells, I remember the one who was kind of a little bit older than me. He would, call me names like you black. Oh, you black. Like I'm like you the same complexion I am. But this is how black people do. You black, you ugly. And the girls, there was a little black girl. I remember her name too. Her name was Pippa. And she couldn't stand me, and I couldn't stand her. And she would call me names too, her and April. And I look at them two like, y'all both darker than me. Like, what y'all talking about? But that's what they would do. They would call me Blackie, black. Nonetheless, um, so the whole time I was growing up, I just got terrorized as a kid for being a dark skinned person, having a big nose. I had a terrible time as a child. I did. And because of that, I was traumatized pretty much, I didn't think I was anything, and that led until, all the way up until, I can still feel some of it today, but I can care. I care less, a lot less now, even though I know black people still feel the same way about me. Simply because of my color. They treat me a certain kind of way, and, they'll go and treat people who are lighter skinned or white a lot better than me. And they still do that today. I still have issues with that today. I go to this gym, and, when I go in there, those people treat me in some kind of adverse way. And last week, I went off on one of them. I got tired of it. I just got tired of them treating me, bad and talking to me crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I just wanted to go off, and I did. I was ready to fight, you know? It's like I'm tired of this. I come in here all the time. I'm sick of it. Stop treating me like I ain't nobody, and I pay money to come here. So you'll get a lot of that. You get a lot of people at your job. Of course, I don't have a job anymore. I'm my own boss. But nonetheless, so what I did when I was a child is I got tired of being ridiculed. It just got to me so much. I got teased so much when I was a child. When I was in the eighth grade, these two girls, Lisa and Charmaine, they were pretty much queens of the eighth grade. And what they did was they would wait until a new boy would come to school and in their grade and they would pick on them. Well, it was my turn. And I told my mother I didn't want to go to school there. I didn't want to change schools. And she was like, no, you have to go. So I went and, I had a big old booth on. I had a big old just hair, just slicked back, just a big old afro, just it was bad. It was bad, but I deserved that. But nonetheless, didn't have a lot of clothes, very poor. We were just poor, very poor. And, my mother was doing the best she could with what she had. So she's like, Tony, you'll be okay. And I was in tears. I didn't want to go. She's like, you have to go. So I get on a bus. I go. I get there. I'm thinking, okay, my mom said it's gonna be all right, and I'm rolling with my mom. It's the way it is. I'm rolling with moms. I'm in special ed because I'm slow. It wasn't, and I kind of found out I wasn't slow. Uh, it's just that my mind, when it comes to reading, I always see other stuff. So when I read something, it's like reading and then blinking over certain words and then reading again because my mind is always doing something else. Well, now I figured it out some years ago is that I'm able to do three things at once. So it wasn't that I was slow, it's just that my mind was concentrating on two other things at the same time. And that made my reading comprehension drop down. But I can write three songs at once very easy. You know what I'm saying? So that was waking up in me, but it was causing me to have very low grades. So I'd be in special ed class and where I could not concentrate. Was not ADD. And anyway, so I'm in school and I'm in the hallway. I don't know where I was going to the bathroom or something. And Charmaine and Lisa see me in the hallway and they're just like, oh, you're the new kid. And I'm like, yeah. And they were like, we just want to tell you that you're so cute. We think you're so cute. Now, Lisa was not cute at all, but she had a huge butt. And it was just, I mean, her body is just ridiculous. But Charmaine had everything. I remember her very clearly. I remember what she was wearing very clearly. Charmaine was gorgeous. But nonetheless, so they were like, yeah, you're beautiful, all this other stuff, right? So I go home thinking that these kids like me, and I hug my mother. I'm in tears, and she's like, "I told you." She's like, "You're handsome. Don't worry, it'll be all right." I go back the next day during recess, and they were like, "You are so ugly." They did this in front of everyone. So they tore me down, and of course, when I came home to my mother, I was in pieces. And my mother said, "Don't you worry about it. When you grow up, you'll see. You'll be a handsome man. Don't you even worry about that." And I was like, "Okay, mom." But that scarred the hell out of me. And it scarred me so bad, it traumatized me the whole time I was at that school. And Charmaine saw how much it traumatized me. And she saw me later on. I think I think I was like 15 or something. And I went to a party, and Lisa was there, and Charmaine was there. And Charmaine saw me. She walked up to me. She said, "I'm sorry about what we did to you." And I was like, it's okay. And Lisa just looked at me and laughed. Now, the reason why nobody messed with Lisa because she had a huge brother, and he'll beat up everybody in your family. I mean, he was just one of those guys. And she knew it. She was well protected. But nonetheless, so it took me years to, just get past that. And even when I saw Charmaine, she apologized to me. It still hurt that they even did that to people. But after they did that day, I befriended a guy named Willie. And this is when I was still, in the whatever grade that was. And Willie was this little chocolate kid. He was darker than me, and Willie could run real fast. And Willie said, "Look, they did the same thing to me." And it made me feel better because I was like, "Oh, I'm not the only one that they treated like this." He's like, "Nah, they did it to me, and Charmaine's my girlfriend now." So it was just something that girls do. But You don't know when you're a kid how much you can hurt someone. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, so I've been getting teased and messed with ever since I was, just because of my skin color. You know, I've been discarded. I've been, just treated like crap simply because I'm dark skinned. And even as an adult, I remember one time I was doing this promo some years ago with this guy, and we were standing in BP, and and he was black too, but he was light skinned. And we were both doing this promo, and these two guys walked up to us, and they was talking to us, and we told him what we did. And then he was like, and he looked at the one guy. He said, "Hey, you ever need a job? Here's my card." And he just kind of looked at me and walked away. And I was just like, "Oh, I ain't no good right here." I was just like, "Okay, I see what it is." And that same thing happened again during a promo. Two guys walked up to us, was like, "What are you guys doing here?" Yada yada yada. And he offered the one guy a job who was a different guy, and didn't offer me one. And I was like, "Okay." I have been fired from jobs and didn't know why I was fired. I've just had so many things happen to me simply because of my color. I've been harassed and beat up by the police, hospitalized, thrown in jail. Did not do a thing. But, I'm dark skinned, so they can do that to me. So I've had a very hard life. And it could have been worse. And I thank God every day that it wasn't worse. Because there's some people who haven't made it to my age. Some of them I knew. They did not make it to my age. They went out and did crazy stuff, and crazy caught up to them. And I just thank God that, I was not in those situations. But every time I get even close to something like that, the Lord has helped me, and I appreciate that. But I've had a very hard life, and very poor. Most of the time, I have been poor. Even in my prime, I was only making $11 an hour. So I never had one of those jobs where I was able to pull myself out my bootstraps. And so I end up just going off and working on my own because I got tired of being fired just because of my color. I got tired of being mistreated. One time I got fired from a job, and I had a mental breakdown, and I didn't want to do nothing for like 6 months. And that's when I started being more creative. I went and wrote a book. I started playing the guitar. I just started being more creative and exercising those avenues. But yeah, being dark skinned is just not an easy thing. You know, um, it's hard being dark skinned. It's hard when people call you Blackie and Kit, compare you to everything black, and that's bad. You know what I mean? Simply because of your skin color, they don't look at what you do, the inside. They just look at the fact that you're black and treat you like crap. So I've been through that all my life, and now I've been beat down so hard that like what I do now, with my little appliances. Like I had a customer today come by. He came by, he seen what he wanted, he bought it, and he took it home, and that transaction took maybe a half an hour. This is one reason why I like what I do now, because I don't have to spend a lot of time with people. And no one can fire me from what I do. You can't fire me. You can't tell me you can't work here no more. You can't. I've even had a boss not pay me. You know what I'm saying? I go through my little issues with what I do now, but nonetheless, it's not as bad. So yeah, being dark skinned, it's terrible. But at one time, I was so traumatized as a kid, I did uh, want to bleach my skin. And I'm glad I didn't, because bleaching your skin hurts. That's for one. And it's forever. And the Asians are the ones who make the bleaching skin products. And they don't like us at all. They just like making money off of us. So, you people out there in Ghana who are bleaching your skin, you're taking away the one advantage that you have over everybody else, just because you don't know how to monetize it, and everybody is making money off of taking away the advantage that you have. doesn't mean that you don't have the. I mean, you're a whole continent full of dark skinned people. And the people who come into that continent hate you. They hate you. They hate you because of your dark skin. They hate your dark skin. And they try to make you seem like you're. The Asians are doing that now to the Africans. The white people have done that. The conquistadors have done that. The American Indian has done that to black people. For all of you who brag about having Indian in your blood, do you know why you have Indian in your blood? Because you were a slave to the American Indian. You were sold into slavery, and then the American Indians are the ones who bought you. Yeah, the American Indian. All you people who you'll never hear me talking about I have Indian in my blood. You'll never hear me brag about such things. Oh, I got Indian, as if that makes you a better. Get the hell out of here. The Indians had black slaves. All right? You got to understand, there are people who hate you simply because you are a dark-skinned person. But tell me how many dark-skinned people get sunburned. Doesn't happen that much. All these skin diseases that other races have, black people don't have them. Don't have them. You'll see that. I mean, you don't have a large population of black people dying from melanoma, skin cancer. Doesn't happen. You have a shield around you that other people can't come close to having. It is an advantage against the sun's harmful rays. It is. It is an advantage. And because black people are looked at as the scourge of the earth, and the poorest people on the planet, everybody's convinced that our skin is bad, but our skin is good. Being dark skinned is a good thing because it protects you from the sun. It really does. And you need to be out in the sun. You feel stronger when you're out in the sun. Who are the fastest people on the planet? You think that's an accident? Year after year after year after year, the fastest people on the planet are black people. And look here, in all distances. Look it up. Who has all the records? The majority of records that are held in track and field when it comes to running are held by some type of African, either Morocco or some country in Africa. I'm just saying, we should not be looking at dark skin and going, oh, dark skin is such a terrible thing. Please. Dark skin people have done monumentous, is that a word? Monumentous things on this planet. The richest man ever in existence was a dark skinned man. And some of y'all already know his name. You already know his story. But if you don't know what his name was, well, some of you know his name. Well, they ain't going to say it. Because somebody's going to write it in the chat. He was a dark skinned man. He was the richest man on the planet ever. None of these guys, Jeff Bezos, and none of these guys can hold a candle to this guy. So, yeah, all this trash about dark skin is bad. Dark skin is not bad. I saw this little chocolate sister at the gym the other day. And I just had to walk up to her, and you know me, I don't be usually talking to folk, but I walked up to her. I was like, I love your skin. And she was like, thank you, and I walked away because, I'm probably 3 times her age, but man, she had a bad body on her too. I'm like, man, shoot, if I was 20 again, I would love to be chasing her little goofy self around. Man, I'd love to be chasing her up and down the street. Man, she was smoking. Smoking, smoking, smoking. Gorgeous. So yeah, dark skin, you know, people who hate on dark skinned people just they're hating on them because they want what they have. And that's it, and that's all. You know? When you look at the way the government says that, you know, you're black. See, a lot of people are going to the ancestor.com and they're finding out that they're actually black. They're like, oh, damn, I'm actually black. They had this one guy who was a staunch racist. Just a racist calling people the N word and all this other stuff. He went to ancestor.com, found out his relatives were black. He couldn't believe it. He's been a racist all his life, hating black people all his life. Found out you got black in you, and you can't do nothing about it. It's in your blood. You can't do nothing about it. Look, he looked like this one regular white man. Nope, he's black. According to the government, you got what, more than 2 or 3%? Guess what? You black. You one of us. Come on over here. Come on over to the cookout. Come on. Hey, we'll forgive you. You know how black people are. We love to forgive. You come on over to the cookout. Just don't say the words anymore because you're going to be punched in the mouth. Then we're going to sit you in a chair somewhere in the corner until you act right. Then we're going to teach you all about your relatives, which are our relatives, and how they survived and all this other stuff. A lot of white folks are finding out that their ancestors, their great grandmothers, great grandfathers, were black people, and they wasn't even half black. They were black. All right. So yeah, one time I did consider bleaching my skin. It just got to me. I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I'm bleaching my skin. I can't take people calling me black. Why do people hate me so much? Why do people want to beat me up and fight me and and all this? The police won't leave me alone. I mean, it's still like that today. But one, I'm bigger, so the people who want to mess with me they kind of think, do I want to mess with somebody who's 285 pounds? I mean, is it worth it? You know what I mean? So they say their little stuff behind my back, and I just look at them. I'm just like, just don't mess with me. Like I was in the gym a month ago, and this white dude just walks up and just the little thing I was rolling on from my back, he just jumps on it like and looks like, oh, did I interrupt your? He went out of his way to interrupt my workout, and I just smiled at him. And I went and grabbed another one, gave it to him, and took the one he had, and put it up. And I just like, but I'm thinking, if this white boy messes with me again, I'm gonna punch his teeth out. He's a big white. He's bigger than me. If he messes with me one more again, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna punch his teeth in. And that's gonna be it, and that's all. Because the first time I let it pass, because I'm old. But the second time, I'm gonna give you everything I got. I consider bleaching my skin too. Yeah, see? But I didn't because God blessed me with. See, yeah. Yeah, see, there was. See. Hold on a second. Hold on, you guys. Hold on a second, you guys. Oh, God. Hey, please. I got him. Yeah, see, bleaching your skin was not a big as deal as it is now. Because now it's the whole continent of Africa is being invaded by the Asians. And the Asians are selling this bullcrap cream And getting even richer just off of black people. Uh, they're selling this cream to make your skin bleach, and these people in Ghana are bleaching their skin thinking that, especially the women, anything the women do, people follow. So the women are doing this, and the women are saying, and oh, in Jamaica too, and the women are saying, if I bleach my skin, if I look lighter, then I'll get a man, and a man will marry me. I don't want to be alone. You know what I'm saying? A man will marry me if I look lighter. And that's why they're doing it. Now, it's a very painful process. And, uh, and I am convinced, even though I haven't done any study on it, I'm convinced if you bleach your skin and make it lighter, that you're taking away the protective shield you have from the sun. Now, you're bleaching your skin, you live in Ghana, but you're not moving. You're not moving to an area where the sun isn't hitting you as hard. You are a product of your environment, literally. You look this way because you need the protective shielding from the sun's harmful way. You're closer to the sun. You know, it's warmer where you're at. But you're going to take away that one ability simply because these other girls are doing it and you want to have the same advantage they have of getting married and not dying alone. Look, I understand not dying alone, even though I'm pretty sure I'm going to die alone. And I'm not a woman, so I don't have the same issue you do. But it doesn't mean a man's going to stay with you. Even if a man chooses you, it doesn't mean he's going to stay with you because you're light skinned. Heck, it doesn't even mean you're going to stay with him. As a matter of fact, when you start looking at it, you go, okay, well, now that I'm light skinned, there are more men that want me. So, one guy, you pick one guy, right? And you start dating this guy, and then you pressure him to marry you. Boom, he married you, you have kids, you're still light skinned. You think that, I mean, you're still, hey, what's going on? It is a strange world. You're still light skinned, so do you think the guys are going to stop choosing you because you have a husband? No. See, if you go through the light skin process, if you go through bleaching your skin, your whole, and you should see them do it on YouTube. Go watch it. It's just amazing. If you go through that whole painful process and you're light skinned and you present yourself to the world as a lighter skinned person, I think there's a couple of people who did it. I think Little Kim did it over here. I think she did. We seen what happened to Michael Jackson, reverse vitiligo or vitiligo, whatever the. No, Michael, you didn't have vitiligo. You ain't have vitiligo, Michael. No, there is nothing wrong with it, but you couldn't tell me that when I was a child. Because when I was a child, I thought like a child. I got harassed like a child. I got beat up like a child. I got jumped like a child. I got hated on like a child because of my dark skin. I'm going to tell you something. Oh, yeah, it's warm down there. I'm going to tell you something. When I was a kid, when I was 14, and this was when I was getting harassed every day, my neighbor would harass me every day and laugh at me and call me black. He was the same color I was. When I was a kid, I had, hey, there it is. Love your dark skin. I love my dark skin too. So when I was a kid, I was 14 years old. What I used to have to do was get up in the morning at 7 o'clock because the double Dutch bus came on. Y'all don't know what that song is, go listen to it. It's called the Double Dutch Bus. Double Dutch bus coming down the street. That song would come on the radio. Boom. I jump up, hit the bathroom, grab some vittles, and I would wait for the school bus to go by. I would watch all the kids get on the school bus, the same bus I'm supposed to be on, and I would watch it go by. And as soon as that school bus pulled out, I'd run down the stairs and chase it. And I chased that school bus for about a mile. And I'm not lying, I knew the route that the bus was going. And I had a shortcut, I'll read that in a minute, to run to catch that bus. And I had to keep running the whole time. I had to run over train tracks and everything. But I had to run past this girl's house. Her name was Patrice. Was it Patrice or Latrice? Anyway, one of those. And she would see me running, and her, Kim, and Bodie, and there's a couple other people would see me running for that, and they would be at the bus stop, and they go, run, run, run. And Patrice ended up being my girlfriend. And listen, I was catching it on all ends. I was catching the bad on all ends, but I ran for that bus just so that girl can cheer me on. And let me tell you something. It was one of the highlights of my life, seeing her and my few little friends who didn't care about my, and she's just as chocolate as me, who didn't care about my. They never teased me about my dark. Bodie was darker than me, and Kim was lighter than all of us, but nonetheless, she was cool as hell. And we all get on the bus and sit in the back of the bus and laugh at my goofy ass who would run a mile and a half just to impress this little chocolate girl. And it was worth it. It was worth it. I remember this guy I liked her. His name was John. He was a big old football player. And I knew he liked her, and I found out about it, and I saw him at the arcade, and I said something to him. He's like, you don't own her. And I was like, just stay away from her. Now, he could have whooped my behind right there, but I didn't care because it was worth it. That was my girl. And eventually, I caught up to her when I was like 26 or something. She had a kid by a white dude, whatever. And I said, listen, did you and John ever, she was like, you waited all that time to ask me that. I was like, yeah. She said, I never cheated on you. I was like, okay. I was cool, and that's the last time I saw her. That's the last conversation I had with her. But let me tell you something, running for that bus, for that little chocolate girl, was worth it. It gave me something to aim for, you know what I'm saying? Somebody was showing me love, and it was just so worth it. And she was a track star. She was really, really quick. She was a cheerleader too. So some people choose the bad person in relationships, not the good person. I got rejected so many times, even though I'm nice. Oh yeah, well, nice didn't have nothing to do with it. Because I'm nice. See, here's the reason why I have no woman, because I'm nice. And I know what they do to nice people. And I've had too many women trying to turn me, like they want me to wear earrings and smoke blunts and weed and, tote big guns. And I'm like, you chicks are retarded. I'm not that guy. I'm not a hood dude. I'm from the hood. I'm just not a hood dude. So I slap the hell out of somebody if I got to, but I don't look forward to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't stand out there with all the mouth and act tough, and then, like my neighbor who messes with me, he act tough and all that until I was like, okay, well, let's throw hands. He ain't want to throw. Nah, I don't want to. Nah, I'm good. I'm not throwing no hands. When I stand in front of his face, like, I'll beat the hell out of you now. What's up, punk? He like, I'm not gonna. Let's take a rain check on that. You know what I'm saying? He talked tough until it's time for me to, slap him across his face one good time, because I'll break his teeth, and then he don't want nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm that dude. Like, I'm a nice guy. Like, I like being sweet to my woman. I think singing to, like, I could sing a little bit. I could hold a note. So I used to play my guitar and sing to my woman. I used to rub her little features, comb her hair. You know what I'm saying? I was doing stuff like that. She left. You come across as a nice, intelligent man. Uh, Not good at, yeah, not good at all. Why you do me like that, Flavor? Flavor, it's not good. I'm a sweet guy. That's not good. Yeah, I'm like a sweet dude, man. I like, what I'm saying? I mean, nah, hooded, nah. You had it right the first time. Yeah, no, I got like a little, like I grew up in the hood, so of course I got some in me. You know, when I'm tested to the limit to my tether, then that's when it comes out, and then that's when I'm ready to go. I don't want to hear nothing else. I'm like, let's get it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? We gonna blow holes in each other. What we gonna do? Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Once I get hood, man, I just turn into somebody else. But nah, I've always been. You know, and here's another thing I found out about females. Females will screw me and act like they don't know me. Yeah, they want they be oh, I want some of that chocolate, and then I mean they don't do that now. This is like when I was in my prime, and they act like they don't know me. I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't know him. I ain't never sleep with him. I'd be like, you was just we was just doing a horizontal bump, not even 3 hours ago. No, you ain't. Yeah, so I was saying like being dark skinned. And the thing about it is, when the whole New York Undercover was out, Malik Yoba and all this, I used to rock a ball head. I was, I was a lot. I was a lot. I ain't had this big old. That's my gut. I ain't had this big old stomach. I ain't had his gut, man. I was 50 pounds lighter, running. I couldn't be mean if I wanted to. That's just how I'm raised. Yeah, I'm only mean when a chick just takes me there. When chick takes me there, man, I turn completely. I'm done. But I've lost children. I got graveyards I ain't visited. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been through war with black women. Because I have it bad for dark skinned women. I mean, I got it bad, and that ain't good. My boy wrote a poem like that. He's like, I got it bad, and that ain't good. I love the look of dark. Oh, it just woo. No, it just what I said. I've lost children. I have a son who only made it till 6 months. He died. His name was Aubrey. Uh, and yeah, I had another girl. She just aborted my child. That broke my heart. I got lost. I got children that are gone. You know, graveyards I ain't visited. Yeah, when you're mad, you like mad, and don't and your body is like the temperature goes from like 98 to like 106. Like you could feel and you could feel the spirit. Just you could hear those spirits talking to you, and it's almost an out of body experience because you're not usually mad. You're almost like, what am I? Like I went off on these people because they mess with me when I walked in the gym. This lady, this little girl, I guess, so-called manager. Uh, oh, honey, you're too late. You're way too late for me. Yeah, it's too late. It's too late for me. I know my place. I've been body slammed one time too many, honey. I'm good. Not to mention my sleep patterns are all messed up. I fall asleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon just for no reason. I can't see a woman being with me. She be like, ain't you supposed to be washing the God. Ain't you supposed to be at work? I'm like, I'm disabled. Thank you. Get out. Nah. Plus, any woman dealing with me is probably gonna have kids, and I got. Nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I've already. Yeah, they hurt, bro. Those losses hurt. But I made love to some beautiful chocolate sisters, man. I don't regret that. I don't regret that. I've made love to some beautiful women with my average looking self. A lot of people don't believe me. They be like, no, you are. Like, man, you just don't know. I told this one person, I said, listen, if I lived in your city, there's a good chance I hit somebody you knew. You know, because like I said, back when that New York undercover was going on, these women were flocking towards me like it was nothing. Plus, I used to wear a suit and tie, rock the ball head. Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. I had to actually stop it. And now it's radio silence. I don't get no phone calls. Nobody comes by to see me. No nothing. And it's taken me a long time to get used to this without the four walls closing in. But you know how I get my kicks? When I want to look at women, like instead of looking on the internet, Tumblr, guilty. Instead of doing that, I go shopping. I'll go to a store. I'll go to Target. There's always some cute mom in Target, you know. And I won't say nothing to them. I just look like there's always somebody fine in Target. I don't know why. You know, you go to Walmart, but they not so fine in Walmart. But Target is always a cutie in Target. Some hot mom, woo, or some little chocolate hot mom is always in Target. So that's what I do when I want to look at some females. Other than that, it's just me, myself, and I. A little De La Soul for you. And I'm not mad about that because, like I said, like my bachelor life, like I don't make a lot of money. Like I met somebody, all right, Facebook dating, and the first conversation I had with her, I told her, like, look, I'm disabled. I go out and pick up pennies in the parking lot and save them. You know what I'm saying? And wait till people throw away their washer and dryer when they move. Then I take it and salvage it or sell it, or I do the same thing with refrigerators and stuff. I got a storage unit full of refrigerators and stuff like that, appliances, and I deliver them to people's house. I was like, yeah, that's what I do. You think she was interested in me once she heard that? Hell no. She not interested, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I got a degree in everything. I don't use it. I'm okay with that because I would rather her show me that now than act like she's interested in me than I act like I'm interested in her and then she cheats on me. No, I don't make enough money for her. I don't. She works for the state, has some big time job or whatever. I'm not competing with these women anymore. I'm not trying to impress women no more. I tell them exactly what's going on over here. Shoot, I YouTube. I get a couple dollars off of YouTube, honey. I can, what I'm saying? Shoot, we can go to Walmart and get a sandwich. I just don't, I'm just not afraid of rejection from these females no more. I don't care. You know who I like treating good? The old, 70-year-old women. Because they don't expect that anymore. Like, I pump their gas. I bought one dinner today. She was in line in front of me, and her little granddad wasn't around. And I waited till she got to the end of the line, and I was like, oh, I'll buy your dinner for you if you want. She was like, oh, thank you. I bought her some Boston Market. I was like, hey, go ahead. She's like, can I get a drink? I was like, yeah, get a drink, get a cookie. She could have got a cookie. I don't know. She got one. She could have went ahead and got two cookies if she wanted to. I wouldn't have said nothing. I mean, like, go ahead and grab a cookie, but I ain't say nothing. Get one of the little extra cakes, little pies, little stuff. She could have grabbed one. She could have been like, I'm just gonna slide this little pie in it. I wouldn't have cared. You know what I'm saying? Get your pie, ma. She had on all yellow too with her fly self. Come outside her car, it was all tinted. When it was like, I like this a fly grandma. I was like, hell yeah, I'm buying you dinner. Go ahead, eat on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I made a good sale today anyway. I mean, I made a good sale. See, another thing too is I don't spend my money on goofy stuff. I don't. My little stuff I do, I take it, I save it, or I put it in the stock market. So I don't need to, because the old girl asked me, She was like, well, what about a savings? How are you saving up? She was like, how are you saving up for, the future or whatever? And I'm like, for one, I'm disabled. That's probably not going to go anywhere that I know of, not unless I stop it. And for two, uh, I have an IRA. So there's that. It's like, do you think I'm doing absolutely nothing? Just sitting up here, just, well, is no. Yeah. She's like, well, what are you going to do for, like for retirement? I was like, I have an IRA. I said, I have a Roth IRA. Like, she was like, oh, that was the end of that? Oh, like, lady, what do you think I do with that, refrigerator money? I don't go out and buy stupid stuff. I ain't got nobody to impress. I take it and I save it, or I'll put it, and then when these little stimulus checks come out, I take the little stimulus check and I put them right into the stock market. That's what I do. Every time they talk about one, I was like, okay, go ahead and send me that net. What y'all about to send? They about to send. Look, they about to do $2,000. The next stimulus check that comes out is going to be 2 grand. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, sweet. I ain't stupid. I'm sitting up here hauling these refrigerators. Everybody seeing me do it. They listen. My neighbors thought that I was just out here, just slinging refrigerators and not doing anything with it until I pulled up with my new Chevy. He was mad. One of my neighbors ain't talked to me since I've been here. She came right across the parking lot and started talking to me. I sold her a refrigerator. The other one was all like acting like she ain't like me. Yeah. Yeah, they stayed. She was looking like, what? I told her husband, I was like, I paid cash for it. They was like, I see you like the hustler of the year. I was like, what y'all think I was doing with that refrigerator money? Shoot, I ain't stupid. You know what I mean? So when one of these, women get to talk about money and acting like, I don't know what I'm doing, I just don't. I'm like, I can go to a fancy restaurant if I want. And I'm going to one of these days. I might go down to the steakhouse, by myself. I'm okay with that. I'm going to do it just for the experience. Put it on Instagram. Like a nice school teacher. I could be a school teacher. Will that check come in July? I think so. Now, I don't know how many are new to my channel, but I talk about what I do with my stimulus checks. So I have like shorter videos of just what I did with my stimulus check and how I did it. And I'm going to give an update. I'll probably do one tomorrow. I'll probably give an update tomorrow, but it won't be live. I like for those to be shorter because I don't get paid for my lives. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't ask for money, but I don't get any money from them either, you know? So people will look at this and they'll only listen to 2 minutes of it and they'll be like, I'm done, you know? So when I make those videos, I make them like 3 or 4 minutes. Sometimes a little longer. Sometimes they get, but there's a lot of information when it comes to the stock market. But that's what I do. I take him, and I'll take the exact amount. Yeah, because you heard on an article. What do you mean? Oh, you heard that? Oh, okay, you heard that on an article. Yeah, see, I listen to a guy who gets updates all the time. So whenever I see he puts up another video, I listen to his updates. And I enjoy listening to him like when I'm driving or something. I'll just listen to his whole video and he'll talk about the updates, what the government's doing, and the possibilities of the stimulus check. And so, yeah, they're going to send out another stimulus check. And I think it is going to be in July. And also, I don't know how many of you have children. And I don't know how many of you did not get your stimulus check. But they just sent out another round of stimulus checks, and they sending out the plus ups. That's what's going on, and they're also sending out a continuous stimulus check to parents. So if I don't know why I don't know why I was doing that. So okay, so if you are if you're if you are a parent, you're gonna get a stimulus check that's gonna be divided up. It's gonna be altogether. It's gonna be $1,800, but it's gonna be divided up each month. So you're gonna get 250. Then you're gonna get 200, 200, 200, and altogether it'll be $1,800. So that's gonna start happening. Plus the for the people who are getting uh, when you're out of work, not disability, not workman's comp. What is it when you're out of work when you got laid off or whatever? Anyways, unemployment. So the unemployment checks that's going to continue, um, and they're going to add on to the unemployment checks. So the 2000 stimulus check was passed for everyone like before. Okay, no, it hasn't been passed yet. It's been Joe Biden has received letters from the Democrats to go ahead and uh, do the $2,000 for the stimulus check, but he hasn't answered them yet. But but they're all pushing for it to happen. Of course, except the Republicans, because they're like, what are we going to get this money from? Well, they're figuring out here's where they're going to get the money from. Okay, so they're going to get the money from the stock market. Those who make money off the stock market are going to get taxed more. They're also going to have a way of taxing not the gas that you have, but the distance you drive. So you're going to get taxed on the distance that you drive. I don't know how they're going to do that. They're going to tax that. And there is another tax that they're going to have. So there's going to be continuous taxes in just, weird areas, and they're going to get all that money to come back into the government's pocket. But yeah, so if they can get some of those passed, what they're trying to do is okay because there's 10 million Americans out of work, right? Now, the majority of those are women. Okay, so you gotta understand the majority of those are women. Before the stimulus check hit, 1 million men were out of work. You know what I'm saying? So that number is even more. There were a lot of women who were working. So you got to understand that the majority of 10 million Americans being out of work and the majority are women, the whole thing is flipped on its head. So they're trying to get people back to work. Well, here's another problem they have. The Democrats they wanted to give more in unemployment, and they wanted to make it 75% of the check that you were getting. And the Republicans said no because the people are not going to want to go back to work. It's not going to be an incentive for them to get off of unemployment and go to work. Well, you got to understand that these Democrats are pushing all this because of so many people that are out of work. They're trying to stimulate these people to go ahead and buy and stimulate the economy. So it's not just giving you money. They're trying to find ways to give you money in order to push the economy back to where it was. Basically the GDP, gross domestic product. They're trying to push the economy back to where it was. So they're like, we'll give you money for unemployment. Well, if they do that now, if you get more money on your unemployment, which they've already done, but if they give you even more money on your unemployment, no, you're not gonna want to go back to work. But here's the thing: people already don't want to go back to work. There are places that are opening up. There are going to be factories and all kinds. People aren't going to go back. They're like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. You had people who work at these car companies. I used to work at a car company. I used to work at Honda. Well, Honda's still swinging right now. I just talked to somebody who I didn't get a stimulus check last year. If I wasn't living with my parents, I could have been homeless. Well, let me read this again. I didn't get a stimulus check last year. If I wasn't living with my parents, I could have been. Okay, so now we have now. Okay, I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you want me to delve into that or not. If you're just telling me that, just to be telling me that, okay, that's cool. But I don't. I don't know if you want me to ask you questions to try to figure out how to help you or not. Because if you do, I'm going to ask you personal questions. Uh, but so I'm just going to leave that there, not unless you say, yeah, I want you to tell me what I can do or what I should do or so on and so forth. Nonetheless, so yeah, I worked at Honda. I worked at Honda as a temp, and I enjoyed going up there every now and then and working and working and working. So I understand the guys who don't want to work. Well, everybody left. Everybody's gone. All right. Well, I'm gonna finish this thought anyway for people who are gonna look at this later. Working at the Honda plant, there's a lot of people. There's two shifts, and there's two lines. And like I said, Honda's they're up and running right now, and I think it's only one line, but nonetheless, there's still a lot of people in there. But you're gonna have a bunch of people that don't want to go back to work because of COVID, and if those people who working at Honda were regulars at Honda, you got to understand they're making a lot of money. A lot. Okay, thank you, baby. A lot of those people are not. They're not gonna want to go back to work. Okay, so here's the problem the government is having right now. Let's just say that you worked at Honda. You worked at Honda. You've been there for 5 years. Honda's salary, I forgot what it was, but it was pretty damn good. But let's just say you're making $60,000 at Honda or wherever. You know what I'm saying? You're making $60,000. The plant opens up, right? And they're like, come back to work. You have to understand, Honda is very regimented. If you don't come back to work, they let you go. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But they understand if they let you go, if they fire you, there could be repercussions on their end. For one, their productivity. Well, if you ever seen the inside of a Honda plant, which most people don't, because they don't allow you to take pictures in there, I mean, it is something to be seen. It is amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how they run the production, and they have a tight ship. You're good. You're good. Okay. Because I didn't know if you wanted me to help you not or not. Because you might be able to get some help, but you would have to, if I were you, okay, let me say this. I don't know why you didn't get a stimulus check. I don't know why. That's on you. You don't have to give me that information. However, you should do some reading, bro, because it's a good chance that. Okay. Well, let me break it down like this. You didn't get the last stimulus check. Okay, so the first stimulus check wasn't protected. The first stimulus check was what? $1,200. That stimulus check was not protected whatsoever. What I mean by not protected, I mean that uh, the government entities took, if you owed them, they took from it. Private corporations, if you owed back on something, they took from it. Child support, if you owed that, they took from it. The next one that came out was what, $600? That one was more protected, and the one that just came out was even more protected. However, if you still owe debt collectors, they still were able to take that money. The next one that's coming out is going to be fully protected, where nobody's going to be able to get any of your money. See, your money went somewhere because it wasn't protected some kind of way. So if you find out where your money went, then you're like, okay, this is why I didn't get it. Uh, that's one thing, but you could also, inquire about it and call the government and say, hey, this is what happened to my money. And I would have been homeless if I wasn't living with my parents, so on and so forth, and see what they can do about it. So yeah, but anyway, so back to Honda. It's a very regimented atmosphere. It's very on point, down to the decimal. But nonetheless, yeah, yeah. There's a lot. Like I said, you need to see. I listen and I read this stuff every day. Like I'm up at 2 in the morning reading what's going on with the stimulus check and why people haven't gotten paid and all this. There's a lot that goes into these stimulus checks. And I would actually like to read the bill itself. It would take me a while. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo in there, but there's just a lot in there. But yeah, that's why people haven't been getting their stimulus checks. And this is why the plus up was made. And why people now are getting money. Basically, what I'm trying to tell him is he might be able to get a plus up. He might have missed out on money that can be available to him. That's basically why I'm saying that. You might get money from the Plus Up program. Not only that, if you're living with your parents, one of you are a dependent. So there's some extra money that can come in the house by a claim. You know what I'm saying? If you're living with somebody, even if you're adults, somebody is depending on somebody else. So there's some monies out there. Like I said, you guys got to do some reading because there's a good chance that there's some extra monies out there for whoever is claiming the dependent. But you have to prove that this person is a dependent. And right now, you sound like the dependent. So it would behoove you to get your parents involved. Uh, Not unless your parents. Okay, so if your parents are elderly, then your parents are actually the dependent because you're taking care of them. But if your parents are, I don't know, okay at 60 years old, you're still working, and you moved in with them, then you're the dependent. And they can claim, it depends. Because if they were making, let me see what the ceiling was. Was it 85,000? Oh, I forgot. What was it? 70,000? I think it was 70,000 a person. I think it was 70,000. If you're making 70,000 and less, then you're going to automatically be getting stimulus checks. Let's just say both the parents, they're not making that $70,000 range. And you move into the house, if you've been in there for a significant amount of time, and the government deems that you are the dependent, even though you're a grown person, well, they can claim you as a dependent and get more stimulus money for you from the government. So yes, this is a real thing going on right now, people. You know, it's really happening. So you guys need to look into that. And there's a 1-800. I don't know what number it is, but it's a 1-800 number. You can call and say, hey, this is what's going on. I mean, you're going to be on hold for a while. It's the government, but I would start making those calls. I would start inquiring because you guys could be missing out on thousands of dollars, especially if you're in a bad situation where, you would have been homeless and you moved in with your parents and, I mean, obviously you're not making a lot of money, and this, money that they're sending out, you might get gypped out of. Heck, some of you are not getting the money because you moved. A lot of the money has been returned simply because people aren't there anymore. So that's a thing too. Also, some people are going to owe some of their stimulus check back. Ain't that a kick in the pants? It's the truth. Some people will owe some of the stimulus check back. I read something about a week ago. I forgot all the details, but yeah, some people are going to owe some of that money back. So yeah, but the government's having a hard time because unemployment is a tricky thing now. They're raising unemployment. Well, they were giving out $600 a week. I mean, people were coming out with 5 grand. Okay, they were getting $600 out a week on each check. You know what I'm saying? Some people were doing good. It was making good money. Donald Trump was good to them. And the government is trying to say, okay, well, we need to give those people more money. Here's the thing about that. That money, while you were on unemployment, that money had a limit. It wasn't going to be forever. It had a limit. And once it hit that limit, your money went back down, right? The government knows that money hit its time limit, and you still have people who are not going back to work. So what's going to happen? Well, those people are going to be in poverty. There's people who are not going back to work, and there's people who can't go back to work. Those people are going to be in poverty. It's going to be bad. You're already having people killing each other for it. You had a boyfriend come and kill a whole family over $1,400. The baby mama, he killed a child. He killed 2 adults. He just went off because he wanted half of his baby mama's stimulus check, and she was like, "You don't do anything for this child." No. And they knew he had a gun, and he came in the house and he was like, half. And the brother pushed him, and he whipped out the jammy and knocked everybody off. They're all dead. So yeah, it's real out here. There are people fighting the male people because they haven't got their stimulus check yet. Listen, some people got their stimulus check and don't even know it because it came in the form of a card. Not everybody got direct deposit. Some people moved so they didn't get so their stimulus check went back. So there's a bunch of stuff that's going on, and sometimes it's the person's fault. It's not the government's fault. They sent you your money, you're not there, or somebody else received your stimulus check. You have people who are claiming you. There are people who are claiming other people. Well, there's no hope about it. It's going to happen. Joe Biden's going to do it. Here's the thing about it, sweet. You're not only going to get a 4th stimulus check. If things go the way I think they're going to go, they're going to give you a continuous stimulus check, and it might be for $1,000 a month. And if they're really if the economy doesn't pick back up, you're going to see $2,000 checks. And it's all to get the economy to jump. Now, I play the stock market, so I watch the economy. And I'm saying that to say this. When you play the stocks, I don't care if it's 1 stock, I don't care if it's 10 million stocks. You're watching whatever entity that you bought shares of, you're watching it either sink or swim. Barely hold on, you're watching it climb, you're watching it decline. Yeah, there you go. Now, do you have, okay, so how did you do it? Because there's a different way to play the stock. So how did you do it? Did you call somebody up and say, hey, did you call up your bank and say, I want to talk to a banker, tell me who handles stocks, CDs, bonds? I mean, did you get Okay, so you went through Robinhood. Yeah, Dr. Boyce Watkins. Okay. So you went through Robinhood. All right. You got on, you did it the app way. I did it both ways. I called up the banker. I called up a couple of them. I got an idea of what I wanted. I opened a I opened an account with a different bank than the one I usually bank with. I kept my one bank account just the way it is. And I downloaded a couple apps. I don't use Robinhood. I use Cash App, which I've been had. That's how I watch my stocks. And I use Acorn. I have an aggressive fund. I have an aggressive mutual fund on Acorn. But when I buy Bitcoin and sell, and I do a lot of my buying and selling on Cash App. I also opened a Robo account, which I don't manage at all. I let you have Acorn too, and mine is aggressive. There you go. So I also uh, have a Robo account. And I did all this with my stimulus check. That's why I don't mind talking about it. Because I said this, I made videos saying I'm going to invest my stimulus check. And you guys should too. If you have a rainy day fund, if you got, 3 times your fixed cost saved up, take your money, put it into the stock market. So I've been telling people how to do that and been encouraging them to do that. Because you can make money, in the long and the short. So my Robo account, I don't manage at all. Yeah, I don't manage my Robo account at all. I just let it do whatever it's going to do. Now, I have a Roth IRA too. I can't touch that for 5 years. But all I did was put $240 into it. I waited for about a week. And then I looked up some mutual funds that I wanted or some stocks that I wanted. And I have some ETFs in there. And I let my ETFs do what they want, which are exchange trade funds. Now, one of my ETFs I actually have invested in 2 ways. One in my Roth IRA and another one in off of one of my apps. And it's an O'Leary fund. It's actually a fund instead of stocks. So it's a bunch of stocks. So and sometimes I'll go on to my Cash App and I will look for funds instead of just stocks. And I will see whose fund's doing what. Now the bank I chose was Chase. And I chose them because they have the best fund management out there. They're doing real good when it comes to knowing what the stocks is doing. So I got a Robo account with them instead of my other bank. And the Robo account I got with them was only $500. So I was like, I just got $1,400 like everybody else in the country. Here's 500 of it. So I was like, boom, take 500, open a Robo account, do what you're going to do. So first I started losing. Now I'm winning. Hold on for a second. Hold on a second. Yeah, so Robo account is a good thing to have. And a Roth IRA is good to have. And my Roth IRA, I like my Rothy because you pay taxes up front with your Roth IRA. The other one you pay tax when it comes out. So there's that. Now, I was going to go to Vanguard and open up an account with them. And because Vanguard has no load funds. Now, no load funds are where you can you can put your money into the stock market by buying a mutual fund, which are can be aggressive, passive, or they can be aggressive, passive, or moderate. Depends on what it is. Okay, the difference between the three, for those of you who don't know, aggressive, passive, and moderate. Aggressive funds, aggressive mutual funds are ETFs, which are exchange trade funds. They could be, and they'd have different letters attached to them, A, B, and C. All right. Exchange trade funds. Exchange trade funds are stocks. Okay, and there's different type of stocks that you can buy. All right. So if you get an aggressive fund, they're going to pretty much play the S&P. They're trying to beat the S&P, which is the Fortune 500 companies. S&P stands for Standard and Poor. So they're trying to beat the average, is what these mutual funds are trying to do. Some people are like, no, I'll take the average. Why? Because the average has been 10%. Now, the reason why people will say, you know what, just put my money into the Standard and Poor. Just play the S&P. Don't worry about beating the S&P. Here's why. If you take $1,000 and you put it into the stock market for a year, and on average, the Fortune 500 has yielded you 10% on a yearly basis, you're going to get 10% of what? 1,000, which is $100 a year, right? You're like, that's no big deal. All right. So you're playing the long game. Remember, there are different ways you can play the stock market. If you're playing the long game, which means you're using it for retirement, that's one thing. You can also use the stock market for your daily life because you can get what's called dividends. And this is why a lot of people who have money, you don't see them go to work anymore because they're living off the stock market. That's why whenever the stock market crashes, it hurts so many people because they're living off of the dividends. Okay, let's just say that your income was $1,500. No, your let's just say that your fixed cost, which means everything that's all your bills that you have to pay, not the ones that you want to pay. You don't have to have the Disney Channel. You don't have to have, a lot of the other little stuff. You don't have to eat at whatever, every day. We're talking about your rent and all your stuff. Your fixed cost was $1,500. If you put in $1,400 into the stock market and you played and you had a passive, you played the stock market passively, this means that you're going to get bonds. And let's just say you have bonds on the S&P, right? Boom. The S&P yields you, you put in $1,400. The next year, the S&P yields you $140 at the end of that year. That's what you made. You made 10% of what you put in. The next year, it does the same thing, but you didn't take out your 10%. You left it in, and now your principal is $1,400 plus $1,400. So the next time that rolls around, you're getting 10% of 1,500. What is it? What is it? One of you geniuses. What is it? It's 1,400, 1,500, and something, whatever it is. So you're going to have that money is now your principal. When that rolls over the end of the year, that money's your principal. So you're making money on each of those principal, and this is what Joe Biden's going to tax. He's taxing the money that you make off of your principal. So now, for those who live off of dividends, they're doing it different. So they put in $1,400 of stimulus check. They wait to the end of the year. They get $140 off of the S&P. This is the Standard and Poor. This is 10%. You make $140 off of it. Where does $140 go? It goes into your pocket. Here's the problem. That money goes into a bank account that you already have set up. And when it goes into a bank account, you say, pay me. Well, they tax that money. This is what Joe's going to go after. The money you're going to get, well, they're already taxing it, but you're going to get taxed whenever you take that money out. You already get taxed for it anyway, but he's going to go after more of it. So you get taxed when you take that money out. You take that money and then you use it for your cost of living. So if your cost of living per month was $1,500, and you would have to have $120,000 into the stock. That's playing the stock market. That's playing the stock market and you would have to live off of those dividends. So you have 120K in the stock market. You're getting dividends off of 120K. Now, oh, thank you. So you're getting money off. Now mathematically I don't know what that is. Somebody had broken it down before, and it came out to be something like 800. No, it's more than that. Okay, so here's the thing, because it's a little under 1,000. It's a little under 1,000. So, but here's the thing, and they did that calculation. It came to be a little under 1,000, but they did that calculation off of a 0.07%. Okay, which was wrong, because if you have a fund, if you go ahead and pick a mutual fund, right? Your mutual fund may have ETFs in it. It may have bonds in it. So if it has ETFs and bonds in it, I automatically know that it's not an aggressive fund. What you have is a moderate fund. It's right in between the middle. If you just have bonds, then guess what? You have a non-aggressive fund. You have a passive fund. Okay, you're just going after the big companies, but you're using bonds to go after the big companies. I'm sorry, you're going after big and small companies, but you're going after mostly small companies, and you're using bonds to do it. If you have an aggressive fund, you're going after large companies, and you're using stocks to do it. This is why it fluctuates. When you watch those lines, it fluctuates and fluctuates. But if you look at the day, and if it's fluctuating like this and it starts to drop like this, look at what it did during the week. Because if it was down here lower and it went up and it's dropping like this, you haven't lost any money. Then look at what it did in the week. Then look at what it did for the last month. If it started way down here and it's going like this, then you're still winning. But if it's doing like GameStop is doing, GameStop took a huge dive. I sold it. Now, okay, so I had Bitcoin, right? I bought $50 worth of Bitcoin. It dropped me down to $43. I sold it. It went right back up, and now it's up. You know what I'm saying? Now it's up, so I lost some money by not being patient. But I don't really care, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care. But so you got to understand the stock market is being played different ways by different people. Somebody who's poor like me, I'm not living off of dividends. But I already know what my financial goal. If I keep living here, if I don't have on any expenses like a woman, she got kids, that's an added expense. If I don't get a car payment, if I don't go out and change my rent, you have 50 in Bitcoin also. I believe it will go up. Well, it will go up again, but here's the problem with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, okay, right now Bitcoin is $53,000 plus. Bitcoin last week was $54,000. Sure is. Don't do it. Yeah, yeah. Hey, what's going on, Rashida? Yeah, see, Bitcoin dropped. And when I saw the amount that it dropped, that's when I sold it. Because I had it at $50. No, excuse me. Okay, so when you buy Bitcoin on Cash App takes like a dollar or something from you. So know that now. So I bought $50, and that varies according to how much you buy. So I bought $50 worth of Bitcoin. I got like 49, whatever, 48, whatever. I dropped $4 in like a couple days, and I said, nope, give me back my money. I got 42 back. Boom, I'm cool. Because I'm noticing a pattern. And that's what it's all about for me. I really, when I notice, when I look at, when I, okay, so I don't concentrate so much on what it done for the year. I don't concentrate on that, or what it's done for when from the beginning, from its inception. Although that really helps when you, especially when you see something that's going up and up and up. Then I'm like, well, wait a minute, what has it done from its inception? So I go look at all. I click on all and I look at it, and if it's been doing one of these numbers and then it's starting to come up a little hump, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And some of them have taken just a straight dive. Like, I'm not buying you. Yeah, you're going up this week, but since your inception, now you've been doing bad. I'm not doing that. So you really got to watch those. And you got to go look at the day, look at the month, and look at the week, or day, week, month, year, and then look at all. You got to look at all of them. But because sometimes they'll fool you. It'll be like, oh, GameStop is up $5. And you're just like, oh, that sounds good. But let me go look at what it done this month. Yeah, you're up $5, but you dropped $25. Like, that's not up. That's not up. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know if it's gonna go back to its peak. And this is why you got to really watch it, because you're like, I don't know if you're going to. Okay, let's just, I don't know what GameStop stock is, but let's just say that it was at $50 and then it dropped down to $22. When is it going to hit $50 again? And so are you going to make money in the short run or the long run? In the short run, you're like, okay, you're down $20. You were at $50. I think within the next week, you're going to grow and you're going to hit $30. I'm going to put $100 on you because I think you're going to grow to at least $30 before you start declining again. Now, that's the short run, but if you're looking at the long run, you're going, well, Robinhood, who really messed up GameStop stocks, uh, if you're going, well, they fixed that problem, it's possible that, their stocks are going to go back up to what they were. I'll play the long run. You put it in, you're gonna watch you just lose and lose and lose and lose again, lose and lose and lose, gain, losing, losing. You might not want to go that route. Pull your money up out of there. So you got to be careful. And if you have a mutual fund, you have to understand if you have a robo account and your robo account, you don't know the people who are managing your robo account are the banks. These are the guys who buy and sell stock for the bank. So if you have a robo account, you don't know what mutual funds that they're playing. You don't know that. If it's an aggressive fund, especially if it's an aggressive fund, which are all ETFs. If you're just like, I don't know which one they are, but and you didn't do any background check on the bank. Let's just say you picked ABC Bank. This is the people who you've been banking with. There are a lot of banks that haven't been around that long. So you pick ABC Bank, right? Because it's in your area, and you're like, I'll give them my money. When you could lose 90% of that money, you have to understand that unless you're FDIC, a lot of your money can be taken away. Okay, FDIC insures money over what? $10,000. How many of you have $10,000 in the bank? You could lose your money. So let's just say you're at ABC Bank, right? You call the banker, and the banker says, "Yeah, you know what? We can help you invest in mutual funds." And they say, "We have a robo account." Boom, you're just like, boom, okay, robo account, let's go. You already know that you're not going to be in control of the robo account. You take your stimulus check, boom, you throw it into a robo account, $1,400, boom, you throw it in a robo account. You don't know whether it's, you don't know what ETFs that they're playing. You don't know what exchange trade funds that they're playing. You don't know what company that they're playing. You have no idea. All you know is that they're trying to beat what? The S&P. You have no idea. So if one of them is GameStop, remember, you don't know this bank. You didn't do any research. You didn't make a phone call. You didn't look on the internet. You didn't talk to a banker to find out which bank, is doing better than all the other bank when it comes to this. You didn't do none of that. You just heard about it and you went in, you gave them your money. Well, guess what? You can lose 20% of your money just like that. You can watch it just fall away, just like that. And the banks will tell you when you put your money into an IRA, whether it's a regular IRA or whether it's a Roth IRA, when you put your money into a robo account, when you have any account that's going to play the stock market, they put it in big letters. This is not a deposit. It is not guaranteed. You can lose your money. You can lose your principal. As a matter of fact, you will lose some of your principal. So I just want to make you, aware that there are some advantages and disadvantages out there for those of you who are still listening, because there's looks like one person is still here, and that's fine. There are some advantages and disadvantages of playing with the stock market, but yeah, yeah. I kind of figured you were still here because I think you're going to take this information and go ahead and look into this. All right, let me say this. When I got into this, just a month ago, I called my bank uh, and I talked to, I would say, like almost 10 different people. I talked to the teller. I talked to the teller on the phone. I talked to the guy who handles $100,000 and up. I talked to a guy who handles $200,000 and up. I talked to people who handle millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? I talked to them like I got in their ear and said, "What's this? What's this?" Then I went on the internet and one guy said, "You need to do your homework," and that's exactly what I did. And everybody I talked to, I wrote stuff down before my money got here. And then I went and opened another bank account and was just like, okay. And I talked to their people. I talked to their teller. I talked to their financial advisors. I talked to some people who have no personality whatsoever, but this is all they do is money. So if you don't do that type of homework, you can put your money into the wrong bank. You can put your money into the wrong fund. But here's the thing. If you don't do nothing at all, you're going to lose money. You're probably going to get bored, take it, and go spend it on some new shoes. Oh, new shoes. Yeah, whatever. You're going to spend it on something new. Your girls are going to want you to go out. The homies want to go smoke. Whatever. You're going to be like, I got $1,400. Let's go smoke. You're going to spend it. But if you do just a little bit of homework, have a little bit of tenacity behind it. It's a little bit of homework, and you start dividing up that check. Like, this is how much I can put in my savings. This is how much I can put into a Roth IRA. You got to understand, you're not going to see that money in your Roth IRA. I'm 53 years old. I can't go into my Roth IRA until I'm 59. I can only put $7,000 into my Roth IRA. I don't think the majority of you who listen to me are my age. So what does that tell you? if you're going to get an IRA, you have to find out what is your financial limit that you can put into your Roth IRA. And that all depends on how old you are and how much money you make. Because if you make over $85,000, then you're not going to be able to put $7,000 into a Roth IRA. You're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to allow you to. Not to mention, you're not going to be able to touch that IRA for a long time. For me, it's only 5 years. So there's just some financial stuff for you guys, and if you guys got any questions, I'll try to answer them. I'm not the financial guy, but I really enjoy watching the market. I enjoy, I made, on all my accounts, not even, I think maybe 20 something bucks so far. No big deal. It's not a lot of money, but it's 20. Listen, if you have a savings account like most of us do, or a checking account, you have to ask yourself, how much does your checking account cost you? How much does your saving account cost you? Some of you don't even know that. I'm going to tell you how much mine cost me, or would cost me, but I'm a veteran, so mine cost me zero. My savings account would cost me $10 I think it's a quarter. So it would cost me $10, but every time that charge comes, I see another charge that adds $10 to it. So it offsets the negative charge. Because I'm a veteran, they don't charge me the $10. Now, how much does your savings account make you? If your money just sat there. So if you had $1,000 into your savings account, does your savings account make you money? The answer is yes. How much does your savings account make you, though? Now, that's a real question. I'm asking anybody who's listening, how much money does your savings... Okay, what percentage of the dollar does your savings account make you? See if you're up on things. Because your savings account actually makes you money. But how much does it make you? And how much does your savings account charge you? And how often do they charge you? This is something you should be writing down if you have a savings account, and you could look right online and find out whatever bank it is. It's not going to matter, and check it out. It's not going to matter how much money you have in that bank. Oh, it's zero now. Everybody's gone. Okay, so you have Chase Bank. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much money you have in it. How much does Chase Bank charge you a month, or and I don't know when your charge comes. I have Chase Bank too, but mine is a checking account. But what is the charge for your bank account? See, my US is $10. My Chase, I don't know, because I use it for investments. So let's check my US account. My US charges me $10, but it's offset because I'm a veteran. So it's zero. But nonetheless, how much does a savings account make you? Yes, see, you didn't know that. And a lot of people don't know. And here's the problem. The bank is constantly taking money from you and giving you very little money back. This is indicative of a pond. If the pond isn't constantly being fed, then the water just evaporates and it's gone. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, what's happening is your bank charges you just to have a savings account. And your bank helps you make money off of the savings account, but it's not enough. So they're taking more than what they're giving. They're taking more than what they're giving. Now, okay, so that's not good, but that's what's happening. And being that it's at a small increment, people don't know. But whenever you go out and you use your card at another bank, your bank just charged you. But even before that, your bank is still charging you. So here's the thing: U.S. Bank charges, like I said, $10. However, with the savings account, this is what you get: 0.002% of the money you have in your account. So, if you have $1,000 in a U.S. savings account, U.S. bank savings account, you yield 0.002%, 0.002% of that $1,000 a year, which is very, very, very low. Very, very low. Okay, it's ridiculous. Now, that's around $20. They charge, but right, that's 10, $20, but they're charging you $10 a month or something like that. They're charging you $10 a month to use it, so they're taking away $120 plus you using your card outside of the bank's ATMs. You see what I mean? You're losing money messing around with your savings account. You're losing money. If you're not a veteran, you lost that $10. So this is why a savings account is not really the best thing in the world, because it's just feeding the bank. So with this in mind, well, you okay? Are you a veteran? Okay, so are you a veteran? Is If you're married, is your husband a veteran? Uh, okay, you're not a veteran. Is your husband a veteran? Okay, your husband's not a veteran. Okay, so are you disabled? Or is your husband disabled? So you're not married. Okay, yeah. Okay, okay, so you're not disabled. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is figure out ways where you can get whatever charge, if Chase is charging you for your savings account, for you to get to offset that charge. But I don't know what the charge is for the savings account. All right. But I do all my investing through Chase because Morgan Stanley. Yeah, I do all my investing through there because of Morgan Stanley. So I have my Robo account with Chase because of Morgan Stanley. They're really good at mutual funds. And right now, my mutual fund is up. I think I'm up $4 on one, and I'm up like $2 on another one. So that's just in a week or so. So I'm thinking, if I average a buck 50, $2 a day, I mean, you're looking at that all the way to the end of the year. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's and my Robo account is the one account. Well, I have a couple, but that's where I have the most money into. I have the majority of my stimulus check into my Robo account because I know that they're trying to beat the S&P. So yeah, I had a majority of my money into my Robo account, but my Acorn account, I'm having pull money from one of my or my checking account and put into my Acorn $20 a month. So I got a couple things going on that's kind of just screwy, but I'm figuring it all out as I go, but it's definitely worth it because I'm making money. I'm not making a lot of money, but because I'm looking at the long run. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the long and the short run, and also I go and like I said, buy and sell different stocks on these apps. I look at an app like I looked at Lululemon, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy Lululemon. I sold it. I had to. I had to sell it. Now I bought. I also bought AT&T, and they weren't doing too good, but I kept them. Now they're doing okay. My Illyrian fund is the one that's keeping me up the best. So my Illyrian, like I said, is actually an ETF fund, and that's doing the best. And I chose that because I heard some guy talk about it on YouTube, and he said it pays dividends. So what I had did was, like a numbskull, I listened to a YouTube guy and went and bought a bunch of stocks that he had said pays dividends. Well, I was losing money. What's the point of them paying dividends when I'm losing money? I said, no, I'm getting rid of this. I'm getting rid of Netflix. I'm getting rid of don't go to Netflix. Don't go to Netflix because they made a big mistake and it hurt them. Uh, but yeah, so some of them I kept, some of them I sold, and yeah, I wanted the dividends. I want to try to live off dividends eventually, because I don't have $120,000, but eventually I will. I mean, eventually I will, and my goal is to live off the I mean, yeah, my goal is to at least get $500 a month off of dividends. So, I mean, 50, 60K, I could probably, well, about 70K, I could probably do that. But another thing about dividends, let me also say this. Here's where a lot of people get in trouble when it comes to dividends. Let's just use an example of a company. Let's say you bought, I don't know, $100 in stocks of a company, right? And you find out that a company pays a dividend. Then you're like, ooh, a company pays a dividend. So you find out that a company pays a dividend of 0.8%. You're like, boom, 0.8%? Okay, so you throw $100 into a company because they pay out 0.8%. You're like, okay, I'm good on that. I'm going to get 0.8% of a dividend from a company. One, you have to find out when that company pays out. Is it quarterly? Is it annually? Is it biannually? You don't know this. All you know is you're going to get 0.8% of your $100 that you put in there, and you're trying to grow that $100. So you're like, 8% is going to come in of the dividend. I'm going to take that dividend and I'm going to add it to the principal until I need it, right? Because eventually you want to live off of it. So you're not going to keep adding it to the principal. You're eventually going to have it siphoned into another account where you can go in and take that money and pay your bills. That's what you're going to do. But you're going to start off with $100 because, hey, you don't have a lot of money and $100 is safe. Boom, 0.8%. Now you have to find out when it pays. Here's the problem with that. The problem is, even though it does pay out 0.8%, no company on the stock market has to pay out a dividend. They can stop anytime that they want. Now, let's just say you know that this company pays out a dividend. Say it's AT&T, pays out 0.8%. Boom. You find out that it's coming to you biannually, meaning twice a year, you're going to get a dividend of 0.8% of your $100. You're like, okay, boom, I'm in there. Here's the problem. You bought $100 worth, right? That stock has fluctuated and has dropped, and you've lost $20 on that stock. You've lost $20 of that. Now you got to figure out what is 0.8% of what you have. See, Most of the stocks that you're going to buy, you're only buying a percentage of it. Case in point, if you wanted to buy Elon Musk, one of his stocks, well, his stocks is $739 for one share. You're not going to do that. You're like, hell no, I'm not going to do that. I've seen some stocks for one share, $2,000 for one share. So you're going to be more reasonable. Let's say that you like Apple. Well, Apple stock is $134 for one share. You're like, you know what? Boom. I'm going to go with Apple. I'm going to take $500. I'm going to go with Apple. Apple doesn't pay out a dividend. Kind of defeats your purpose. You see what I mean? So that's the tricky part about one of the tricky parts about the stocks. You want a stock that's going to pay out a dividend, but one, they can not pay you whenever they want to, and two, you got to find out when they're paying out that dividend and if they're still paying it out this year. Here's another thing. Let's say you go to B company and you say, okay, boom. I want to buy stock. I want to buy stocks in B company, same $100. But B company pays out 3.9% dividends. You're like, we're in the money. Yo. Now you have to find out when it pays out the dividend. How often does it pay out the dividend? 3.9% of your $100 is $3.90, I think. Something like that, right? Yeah, $3.90, right? You're like, okay, cool. If I can get a hold of that every annually or biannually, let's say it's biannually, the same thing, boom. Uh, Boom, you're in it. You know, $7.80 a year, just off of that $100. You're just like, boom, I'm gonna throw a whole $500 into it, and then you do the math from there. Uh, you know, 7 times 5 is 35, blah blah blah, plus a change, and you're just like, okay, I can see keeping this right here. Once again, they can stop paying anytime that they want to. They do not have to pay out a dividend. Now, some people will go, okay, fine. So I'll go to some of these younger companies, some of these tech companies. They're going to pay out a dividend. There are no tech companies that are just getting off the ground that will pay a dividend. Why? Because the money goes back into the company. So a lot of these companies that guys see who are building these electric bikes, building the new this, the new that, and you go and put money into them, and you're hoping that they're going to pay a dividend. You will not get a dividend out of that company because the money goes back into the company. So you got to be smart about who you're going to pick and try to get dividends out of, because it could be a losing stock. And basically, even if it's a high dividend like 3.9, you might have already eaten up your dividend amount before you even got it. Another thing, if you go and buy a mutual fund, let's say you get an account from BlackRock. You go to BlackRock and you say, I want you guys to do my mutual funds. They're going to go, you say, I want you guys to manage my mutual funds. They're going to say, how much money do you have? Because they're going to have a financial limit to how much that they're going to manage. You're not going to walk up to them with $1 and they're going to say, we can start off with $1. A lot of times that doesn't happen. Why? Because they make money off of the management fees. Okay, so you got BlackRock. There's a bunch of people who do management, mutual fund management. So let's say you got BlackRock, and then you got I forgot what that company is. Um, I forgot what they are. Nonetheless, so you got A company and B company. Let's just say that A company is going to manage your fund, but your funds are going to be loaded fund. All right, a company is going to have loaded funds like BlackRock. BlackRock is actually a company, and they beat the S&P a lot. So check them out. Here's a problem with that. Well, it's not really a problem. This is something that you got to be cautious of, though. Say you go to BlackRock and you say, I want to give you guys $1,000 to manage my uh, fund. And they say, okay, fine. It's going to cost you 0.35% of whatever you give us to manage every time you give it to us. This is called a loaded fund. You have to pay up front for them to manage your fund. So let's just say you're they're doing a good job. 5 years later, you got $10,000 in there, or 5 years later, you got $10,000, and you want to do the same thing. You want to put it into the stock market. You go to the same people who've been making you money, and you say, "Hey, I got $10,000, BlackRock. I want you to manage my fund." They go, "No problem. It's 0.35% of the money that you put in there. That's what their fee is." See, it's the same if it's $1,000. It's the same if it's $10,000. So if it's $1,000, it's 0.35. That's $35. If it's $10,000, it's $350. So you got to understand these people are used to dealing with people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if it's $100,000, it's $3,500. You see what I mean? So it's significant. Now these are loaded funds. Let's just say you go to B company. Uh, Forgot what I keep wanting to say Vandergrift or Vanderbilt, but I forgot what the name of the company is. But say you go to B company. B company is like, yeah, we're not BlackRock. We're not going to charge you anything up front. You're like, say word? You're not going to charge me that $35 up front? They're like, no, we're not going to do it. So you give them your $1,000. You come to find out that they're not as good at beating the S&P as BlackRock is. Did you make or lose money? Answer is you lost. Because BlackRock was making you more money even though they charged you to do it. Now, the other company, B company, is like, we're not going to charge you, but we're not doing as good in beating the S&P, and we charge you on the back end. So when your money comes out, they charge you they charge you point one, I think like 0.15%. So they charge you on the back end. One gets you on the front end, one gets you on the back end. Just some things to be aware of, especially when it comes to thousands of dollars. And that's the whole point. You want to get your account to thousands of dollars. Well, you can be taxed, some serious money, if you're not careful. And let's say that, okay, I don't know how old you are. Uh, you don't have to tell me because I was gonna say only time your age really makes a difference is if you're gonna use a. Okay, you're 52. Okay, so you're in my shoes. You're in my shoes. So if you're going to use an IRA, if you're going to use an IRA, you're okay right now at 52. Your IRA limit that you can pay into should be in between $6,000 and $7,000. You won't be able to get money out of it, meaning that money is going to stay there and grow until you're 59. Then you can go in and get it. So if I was you, I would take $200 and just put it into an IRA. But I mean, if you got yourself a decent savings, please don't tell me what your savings is. If you got yourself two times your fixed cost, meaning if you can pay all your bills twice over, take $200 and put it into an IRA. Just do it. Just do it. And put it into a Roth IRA. Now, you can do that actually yourself online. And then you can pick which mutual funds you want. And you can watch your mutual funds and you can control it yourself. Or you can call somebody and do it. And they'll manage it for you. So, I'm doing my own management. That's not exactly a good or bad thing, but, I'm learning as I go. So, right now, I picked a couple stocks. Boom. Right? It's making money. I'm in the green, so I'm not doing bad. But I put 240 in. Boom. I'm up. I'm up like $2. But I just started, so I'm okay with that. Hold on a second. I'm okay with just starting. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a lot of money. But if I can get $2-3 out of it a week, I'm okay with that. Okay, so yeah. Get yourself a Roth IRA. Get yourself a Rothy. $200. Throw it into your Roth IRA. You can make your own account. I have Chase too, so you can make your own account if you want. Or you can put $200 into a robo account. And they take their little fees or however it goes, but yeah. But get yourself a Roth IRA, something that you can't touch. And oh, you're still there? Are you still there? Yeah, okay, so something that you can't touch. Your robo account, you can go in and take money. You can't do that with your IRA. Hey, salute to you too. I don't know what time is this. Yeah, so that's what I would do if I was you. At that age, yeah, 52. Just go ahead and put $200 into it. And don't be stressed like, oh, I got to do it right now. Just, do it by, I don't know what you do for a living. It's not my business. I'm saying just eventually save up $200 this year. This year, if you can, you know, and I mean, anything, pennies, whatever, it all adds up. Hit $200, boom. If you got to start off with 100, put 100 in. Put $100 into a Roth IRA. And then find out what you can about, stocks and whatever stocks you want to look at. There's a lot of information out there. And, or a fund, you know, or a bond. And say, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead with this bond or this stock or this mutual fund. And when you do, you'll be able to watch it every day. You'll be able to click on your bank, Go right into your account, and it'll tell you whether you're winning or losing every day. You know, and eventually you'll get tired of doing that. You'll just let it go, and then check it once a week to see if you're winning or losing. If you're losing, get yourself another fund or a stock or a bond, and it's that's you managing your own account. You can go on the you can look at the stock market and see what's winning and what's losing. You can look on Cash App; it'll show you what's going up and what's going down. And yeah, that's what I would do if I were you. Do any of your family play the stocks? Somebody in your family plays the stock. You probably got somebody corporate in your family. Yeah, no problem. Nobody in your family plays the stocks. I'm probably going to end up being your advisor. Can't believe that. Nobody, well, then again, my family either. No, well, he's not a terrible person to listen to. I don't listen to him personally. I listen to, oh boy, my memory. I mean, I've never listened to Boyce Watkins, but I've saw some of his commercials. I was like, I'll pass. For no particular reason, but I don't know. One day I'll listen to him. See what he says. I listen to Dave Ramsey, and I like listening to Dave Ramsey because I like the way people call in and talk about their situations in real time, and it helps me identify. Yeah, it helps me identify or place myself amongst the crowd. When I listen to them, I go, okay, I have this much money. I'm in this position. And then I go, boom, I should finagle. I can go ahead and feng shui myself right in the here into this conversation. A lot of people are married. I'm not. A lot of people have children. I don't. I have one child. She's older. Uh, but, I'm not in there. So I don't need to save up for college. I don't need to have, so many extra dollars for a woman and grandkids and all that type of preparation. You know what I mean? So when they say, I have, $120,000 in savings and blah, 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 I'm like, good for you. Wish I had 120, but it's just me. You see what I mean? So when it's just you and you listen to those numbers, I don't get blown away by those numbers anymore. I mean, one chick called and she had like 5 million bucks. She was in her 30s. You know what I'm saying? One chick called in and her husband makes $1 million a year. And they were like, why are you calling us? So I don't get blown away by those numbers so much anymore because uh, so why you want to bring a chick in to ruin it? I'm not I'm not trying to bring a chick in to ruin anything. What are you talking about? Was that question rhetorical? So why would you bring in a chick in to ruin whatever you got going on? Yeah, no. And Ra, I just watched your video on You're Not the Prize. I watched that video at like 3 o'clock this morning. Oh my god, Ra. You missed your calling, girl. You are funny. But what you said was true. Yeah, what you said was true. Baby mama drama is not, yeah. And baby daddy drama, yeah, I don't do that. But yeah, so So when I listen to Dave Ramsey, like I said, I don't put myself in a position where with people who have to have, and I'm a non-traditional worker, so I still make money, but I don't make money by the regular 9 to 5. So you have to understand, a lot of those people are making their money off of PERS, off of a 401k. Some of them are making it off of the stock market, but a lot of their money is already continuous, and mine is sporadic. However, mine still comes in on a month, but it doesn't come in every Friday. It does, I don't make money like that. I could make $1,000 in one day and then not make another dime for 2 weeks. So, I got and it all depends on you know what's going on in the appliance market and what I have to sell and how good my back feels. Like I was gonna go buy a refrigerator tomorrow, but when the guy showed me where the refrigerator was, I told him I'll pass. It was up a whole flight of stairs. And he said, "Are you gonna be able to load it yourself?" The answer is yes. Can I get a big double door down the stairs by myself? Yes, but I have a pulled muscle in my back. So that is all back muscle right there because you have to hold the fridge on an angle and slide it down the stairs with a dolly and hope that dolly doesn't get away from you. And that is nothing but strength right there. Can I do it? 100%. Will I do it tomorrow? No. I don't want to hurt myself any more than what I am. So I am taking a hiatus. And being that I'm my own CEO, I can do that, and I ain't broke. I can do that. So, yeah. So when I listen to Dave Ramsey, I try to see where I am amongst the people. Okay. Now, another thing is, what was I going to talk about? Covered the stock market. Yeah. Yeah. So I was gonna kind of hit on savings, because savings is kind of it's when you call your bank, you call your bank tells you how much money that's in there, right? You're like, okay, I have this much in there. A couple days go by, some of that money's gone because you used it. And sometimes you haven't used it and some of that money's gone. You're just like, okay, where did my money go? Then you got to kind of find out what you're being charged, who charged you what, when. But nonetheless, it's a constant trickle down where you have to put more money and more money into it. Think about savings. Now, when you start messing with the stock market, you're in the stock market is, doing well. You're like, you're tempted to take your savings and toss it all into the stock market because now the stock market's doing well. But there could be a downturn at any time. And it could be heavy like it was in '08. You know what I'm saying? Be a heavy downturn, or even last year where it didn't go up as much as, you expected it to, but nonetheless, the S&P still has a 10% on average, still a 10% gain or yield on average. So you just got to be careful with being tempted to throw all your money, take it out of a savings account that has a small trickle down finances that it is happening. Now, here's an alternative to that, and you got to be careful with this too. Your alternative to that is two things. One, take your money and hide it under a pillow. Hide it in your house somewhere. Have a safe in the house. That's more at risk, but it's more accessible to you, and it's not leaking. Nobody's taking anything out of it. You know where it's at. Nobody's taking nothing from it. But it's the same amount unless you add to it and or take away from it. So there's no arbitrary fee coming from out of nowhere and taking something away from your stash, right? That's one thing. Another thing is another thing is a CD. Now, a certificate of deposit. So I looked in the CDs. The first people I called on the CD is who? My bank. And I said, how much are your CDs? Now, mind you, this is US Bank. I said, how much are your CDs? And they said, how long do you want your CD to be for? And I said, what's your best rate on a CD? They said, our best rate is 0.04%. For every $1,000, you get 4% of every $1,000 is what? 40 dollars, right? So not terrible, not terrible at all. They say, however, you have to have your money into that account for 47 months before you can touch it. Now, this is before you can touch it and before you can touch it without a penalty. Can I go in and take my money out anytime I want to? The answer is yes. What is the penalty if I take my money out within 1 day of a year? The answer is 20% tax. So let's just say I wanted to take $500 out of it because I needed it for a rainy day or whatever. Something happened and boom, I needed $500. I go in there, it's 1 day short of a whole calendar year that I put it in there. Boom, they're going to charge me 20% of my $500. Bang, right? That's going to hurt a little bit. Let's just say that it goes over a year. They're going to charge me 15% of my $500. And if I waited 2 years, it's the same thing. So it's 15% in perpetuity. No matter what, it's 15%. But before that, if it's less than a year, it's 20%. So 47 months is 1 month less, 1 month short of a 4-year term. So what they did was they say you get the most benefit if you keep your money in here for at least 4 years. Now you got to understand when you put your money into a CD, once again, a certificate a deposit, once you put your money in there, the bank actually takes that money and it does things with it. It loans it out to people, yada yada yada. I mean, the actual money is not there, but nonetheless, according to the bank and you, digitized, you have this much money that's in the bank in the CD. This is why if somebody has millions and you piss them off and they go into the bank and say, hey, I want my $9 million right now in cash, the bank usually does not have that kind of money. And they'll try to convince you not to do that. Nonetheless, so you take your $1,000 and you put it into a CD, and you realize that you're going to get punished if you take that money out before the term limit, which is almost 4 years. So you can do that. Your money is making 4%. So it's making $40. If it's $1,000, it's making $40 a year. Ain't too terrible. Come out what? 80, 160 bucks. But you gotta understand, once the first year goes, you're also making money off of that $40. So you're making 4% off of not only 1,000 after the first year is $1,040. So you're making money off of that principal as well, right? And then the next year, 1,080, 1,080, 120, 160, and if you choose to keep your money in or so on and so forth. Here's the thing about CDs though, the rates change. So you put your money in there, you put in there for 4 years or almost 4 years, boom. You think you can keep it in there just like you do the stock market, boom. The rate of change, the rate of drop down to 2%. Now, you can go on the internet and say, what is the highest paying rate right now for a certificate of deposit? Well, you're going to find out the highest paying rate right now is 7%. However, you're going to call that bank and you're going to find out that it is a subsidiary of a bank. It is not the actual bank. It is something, it is an entity that is latched on to that bank. So you're not getting JP Morgan Stanley Chase. You're getting JP Morgan Stanley Chase subsidiary of, you're just like, I don't even know you guys. Like, I've never heard of this before. One of those entities is called Pont Bank. About 2 months ago, they had a rate of 7%. I looked for that same rate a couple days ago. It is no longer there. So you got to be careful with that because you can give them $1,000 and it may be an okay bank, but you might not be too comfortable with it. So you got to watch the high rates that they're trying to give you and be a little skeptical of it. I did find some that were for 6 and 5.5 or 6 and 0.55%. So those are still some good rates. Now, some of them are 9 months. So if you want to take your money and put it into a CD for 9 months at a rate of, 6 or 55, boom, you're going to get $60 out of it. That's what you're going to get. The problem is it's only for 9 months. You see what I mean? And they have your money. So you're just like, okay, the term's up. I get my money. I get my thousand plus my principal, take out tax, boom, I get it back. You're like, okay, the deal's done. Well, they might offer you something else, and you got to think, do I want to do this or not? See, this is an alternative to a savings account that's not making anything. Remember, though, your savings account doesn't punish you for going in and taking money out of it. Your CD does. So, just something to think about. Yeah, just some, just some more financial stuff to throw at you. Yeah. So, I am thinking about using my U.S. bank for a 4-year CD. The good thing about it is, my bank account is already with them, so I don't have to transfer money to them. Banks charge you from transferring money from one bank to another. That's another thing. So if you have like some of these apps that we use, if you're okay, because so you can link your app to an account, right? And you're not getting charged for that because it's just going to an app. But if you go to JP Morgan Stanley or Chase Bank and you open up a self-directed account, which is an IRA account or just something that where you can trade funds or whatever, a self-directed account, and you don't have enough money into your account. Okay, let me go back. Say you have a self-directed account, right? You can set up that account to where it takes money out of your savings or checking account. It's called a sweep. So you set up an IRA, right? Say you set up a Roth IRA, you put $200 into it. You want to add 200, you want to add $50 to that account every month. So it grows while it's growing in the stock market, right? Boom. What you do is say, I want you to sweep or hold on, let me go back. Let me go back. Say you have a robo account. Your robo account is starts at $500 with Morgan Stanley. This is actually true. Robo accounts is $500, and it's a good thing to try out. Plus, you can go in and take money from it. So, but you have to have $500. See, there's the thing. That is the caveat right there. You have a robo account starts off at $500. You know how much a robo account starts off with U.S. Bank? $10,000. Guess who's better at robo accounts? Chase. I was like, oh no, I'm going with Chase. Anyways, so $500, right? This is a minimum requirement for your robo account. If your account goes under that, they have to get that money from somewhere. This is what's called a sweep. So they'll use your either checkings or savings account, and they'll take that money from that account. It has to be accessible to them. They don't just usually go and take it though, but it has to be accessible to them. So I mean, when you get into this, you'll see what a sweep is. It'll be right there in front of you, and they'll explain it to you. They're like, we're just not going to go and take it, but we need to have access to an account where this is going to come from. They're not just going to go and take your money. They don't move money around like that. But you can also set up a direct deposit. Like my Acorn account has an automatic withdrawal from my Chase account, my Chase checking account, of $20 a month. So I have to keep at least $20 in there because it's going to go and try to pull that money out. $20 a month. So I have to keep at least 20 in there, and I have plenty in there. But I'm aware of this. You know what I mean? So that's not a sweep, but a sweep is basically where the bank has to have accessibility from an account to one to another account. So what I'm saying is, if you if you're gonna invest with Chase, you're gonna have more than one account with them, and it's gonna be one is gonna be the savings or checking, and I suggest, okay, so okay, one's gonna be either savings or checking, and the other one's gonna be whether your Roth IRA, another self-directed account, or your robo account, but they're going to be able to sweep from your savings or checking. So know that. You know what I'm saying? And what was I going to say about my savings account? I forgot just that quick. Okay, so this is what they got going on at Chase. I don't know how long you've been with Chase. I don't know whether you have a checking or savings account, but I took my stimulus check and I had cash. I had cash, and I took cash to them, and I gave them $1,400 in cash. When I looked at my account, it said $1,900. So they have an incentive for checking accounts where they give you $200 if you open a checking account with them for direct deposit. My direct deposit wasn't set up yet, so I don't know why I got that extra money, but nonetheless, I didn't call them and complain about it. And now I actually have a direct deposit going to them uh, from an account from, I have a CD, I do music too. So my CD Baby account, every time it hits $10, it'll go directly in there. And that happens like once every 4 or 5 months. So it's not a big deal, but nonetheless, they needed a direct deposit. I gave them one. So just to let you know that. I don't know how you get paid or whatever, but if you have a something, if you don't have a checking account with them and you open one, if you have some type of, I don't know, government assistance where, like myself, I'm a veteran, so my veterans account can go straight to them. They'll give you $200. So that's what's going on now. So I'll let you know. And what city are you from? I think Ra's gone. I wanted to ask her a question. Houston. Oh, okay, yeah. I was down there last year, I think. Ra, you still here? Rashida, you still here? I think she's gone. I wanted to ask her if she knew about her. She knew about the stimulus checks because they're about to pay parents Uh, they're about to pay parents like $250 a month, all the way up to $1,800. And I was wondering if she knew that. Uh, so yeah, but Rashida, you still here? But yeah, there's just some financial help for you. And you can call me and ask me some questions. You can just hit me up on YouTube and ask me some questions if you you know get stuck on anything. Flavor, what's your name again? Flavor Flav, Flavor Sweet, Flavor Sweet. You want them sweet grandma? You want them newfangled? You want them newfangled grandmas? The old grandma don't look the same anymore. The old grandma, you rocking the bonnet and the hair rollers in her hair. Looks like she just ate a turkey, a whole turkey. Yeah, you probably one of them new grandmas that hit the gym 3 times a week. Look like you just ran a country mile. Yeah, I knew it. Got that little strip of gray in your hair, all down to the side, like coming one coming over your eye. Looking like Jessica Rabbit, looking like an older Jessica Rabbit. Like, man, what? What happened? Where we at? Probably got yourself a young boy somewhere. You got some 30-year-old you rocking. This my little young boy. David, come here. David, come here. Boy, what I tell you. Is that your grandson? Heck no, that's my man. David, come here. You snap your fingers. Yep, see, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. You young great boy, you grandmas, y'all I call y'all young grandmas. You grandmas ain't playing. 38 years old. Shoot, got a good back. Oh yeah. Yeah. He rocking you. Oh, he loving it. He's loving it. I ain't mad at you, boy. Do your thing. Shit, when I was 40, I had me a 63-year-old. Woo! She was a lot of fun. She was a lot of fun, boy. She was the business. Smart woman, too. She used to be a cop. She was the best this is. Yeah. And I was going over there having fun with her old ass boy. Yeah, I know he giving you a run for your money. He got you. Ooh, boy, he giving you the business. 'Cause I sure enough was. She was like, you need to go have sex with somebody else. I was like, I already am. What you talking about? She's like, no, you need to get on up off of me. Boy, I made her gain weight too. That's amazing because her body started filling out like a teenager. I was like, what the? Boobs got huge, butt got big. Oh my God, she was the business. Boy, I miss her. I miss her. Yeah, I know what you're going through right now. He's stuck too. He's stuck. He thinking about you right now. He doing his rounds thinking about you right now. He probably gonna call you. What time is it? Oh yeah, he about to call you. He coming over tonight. Already know the drill. You ain't got nobody over there too? Oh, he on his way. Soon as he get off, he gonna be like, whoop whoop. Is there a problem here, ma'am? Oh yeah, he on his way. Yeah, yeah, I know he's stuck. And when you leave him, he gonna cry, literally. He gonna be like, "Why you leaving me, sweet? Sweet. Oh, come on, sweet. You know I'll be good to you, sweet. I ain't mean it. Oh no, I'm just having a bad day, sweet. Oh, come on, don't do me like that, sweet. Oh no. Oh no, sweet, no, no. I gotta go. I can't mess with you no more, David. You just be too stressed. Sweet. Oh, I'll do anything for you, sweet. Ah, sweetie, no. Don't do it to me, sweetie. Because he know what the deal is. You about to go get yourself another young boy. Probably somebody younger. Blowing that back out. I already know the deal. Woo! Janie was amazing. When I was 24, I got hit on by a woman who was 52. Snatched me right out of a party. Oh, you know it. I already know what's going to happen. Sweet, don't leave me, sweet. Bet you got some big old hips, too. You got the big old grandmama. Oh no, sweet. Oh no, sweet. Fuck. Oh my God. Woo! I already know the deal, sweet. I know what you got going on over there. You don't want no guy my age. We can't handle you. Our little 5 minutes ain't gonna do nothing for you. Our little five, you need somebody angry. You need somebody athletic and angry. You need somebody with an attitude. You can I'm too nice for you. I'll be like, oh sweet, you just so beautiful, sweet. You just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, sweet. Thank you for being in my life. Like you hungry? You hungry, sweet? I'm good. Yeah, I already know it. I'll be just as nice here. Oh, sweet. Oh, what's wrong? What happened, sweet? Oh, you can talk to me about it. Oh, what happened? Really? Oh, damn. Oh, that's messed up. Oh, come on now, sweet. I'll make it better. I'll make it better for you, sweet. Ooh, yeah. Sweet girl. Sweet baby. Oh, oh yeah. Get singing to you. Take you roller skating. You be like, I'm bored. I'm bored. I'd bore you. You need somebody with a, you need somebody with some muscles and a flat stomach, so they can get all them hips up under them. I already know the deal. Shoot, I was him before, and it was great. I was him. Yeah. I had a few sweets. Shoot, I bet he got you looking like you 30. Body done filled out. You like, wait a minute, I ain't supposed to be. I think my butt getting big. But you doing the dropping challenge and everything. Bust it, bust it, bust it. I know you are. Yeah, I would have. Jeannie was amazing. She was amazingly smart. Yeah, you know you doing the busted challenge. I bet you got a TikTok, don't you? Is you? Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah, just the fact that you even know what that is. I bet you. You, your daughter, and your granddaughters all try to compete. Like, I bet my butt get big. Like, hold on, y'all need to slow. Yeah, I know you. I already know you. Yeah, I already know you. You down in Houston, turning out. They got yourself a young boy. He through. He got him. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you something. He got himself a young girl too. He got himself a young girl. No kids, but nieces. Yeah, you need. Yeah, you snatching up. Yeah, you snatching up your nieces, dudes. I bet your nieces they about what 20. Them little young boys come in the house and see all them hips. They just like, oh, that's your grandma. That's your guy. How you doing? They call you Miss Everything. How you doing, Miss? They want to cut the grass now. They want to come over and cut the grass. You need your grass cut? I'll come over. They want to come over and what you need? I'll wash the dishes for you just to look at them hips. I've been there. I was 14 and had this older woman. I used to ask my Mom, can I go see? She'd be like, go ahead. Woo! Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want you to be around their dudes because it's lights out. Well, I'm trying to tell you, a young boy will get addicted to an older woman. It's a bad deal. Y'all break his little heart. An older woman to break a little young boy in half. Well, here's the thing, Prof. I know nobody else is watching. It's late at night. We're both older folk. She lives in Houston. I live in Ohio. It'd be all for naught. Plus, she's got a dude or two. Eh, I'm not getting on anybody's airplane. Somebody's already occupied that space. It's just not gonna happen. Now she was a single sexy grandma. I might have got me a Greyhound ticket or two. I might have scheduled a round trip ticket. But right now I'm just messing with her. Just playing around. We're just having fun. You know. Yeah. Anyway, why are you on here talking about nobody else's? What you doing here? You should be up under somebody right about now. What's your problem? Maybe we need to help you with your issue. What's going on with you? What's her name? What'd she do to you? What'd you do to her? Huh? Come on, what's your issue? You got issue. Come on, let's talk about it. She'll take 40 every time. What's that mean? What's that mean? How's Ohio? Ohio's fine. Police are crazy up here, but 40. I'm not hard up for money. No, I don't think she's hard up for money. I don't believe that at all. People playing the stock market usually aren't. Flavor Sweet. Nah, she got a whole 38 man. I'm 53. I can't keep up with a 38-year-old. Look, yeah, people playing the stock market aren't usually hard up for money. She's a whole nurse down there. She's a whole LPN. You a LPN, ain't you? I know you're not an RN. You're an LPN, right? I'm gonna tell you why you're an LPN. First, answer my question: are you an LPN or an RN? A licensed practical or a registered? Which one are you? LPN. I got my money on LPN. LPN, right? Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you how I know you're an LPN. I'm gonna tell you how I know. Yeah. Here's how I know. Because the older the yeah, the older generation they were able to get their LPN license, and then the registered nurse was the next step up, and then the medical system, the medical field, had been phasing out the LPNs, uh, or they wanted to phase out the LPNs and tell them all to go back to school and become a registered nurse. But what are you going to do with all those LPNs? So they're just like, nah, that's a bad idea. So we're going to let all the people who are young, all the older folk who got the LPN and have been practicing for years, just stay in LPN. And then and then these hospitals who didn't want registered nurses and they had LPNs and was getting rid of them, yeah, LPNs found somewhere to go because they were still needed. There's a shortage of nurses. So that's why I didn't. Well, see, my degree is in health administration. Yeah, I have a health administration degree. Yeah, that's how I knew. I was like, oh, you older, you're an LPN. If you're younger, you're an RN because they wanted to phase out the LPNs. Yeah, I know the drill. Yeah. So you a day shifter. Yeah, you a day shifter. You go in at what, 6 o'clock? Yeah, you go in at what, 6, 7 o'clock? You a night shifter. You must be off today then. You either off today or you're about to go to work. What's your Facebook? You called in, so they called you to come in? Flavor, is your man black? Is your young boy black? Your little boy toy, is your boy toy black? Oh, okay. Yeah, he black, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't compete. I can't do it. I already know. My gut to get in the way. I can't. I can't even arm wrestle him and win. I can't. I can't arm. See, I know my limits. Both my knees are getting my way of progress. Yeah, I ain't got no woman, man. Can't keep up with no woman. Shoot. Doing all that hopping up and down. Like, girl, I'm trying to go to sleep. Girl, I'm going to bed. I go to bed at 9:30 every day. I know I'm finished. I can't date anybody. Matter of fact, the only people I could date is somebody who worked night shift. The only people I could date is somebody who works night shift. Because if, oh, okay, you know I'm looking that up. I'm trying to see if you thick. I can't have none, but I can sure look at it. I'm trying to see if you thick. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, boy, you better get that. You better take care of that girl. You better take care of her because I can't. I can't take care of her. You better love on that woman right there. Ooh, ooh. Oh, size 6. Oh, see, you talking stuff now. I'm about to go look you up on my computer. See, you ain't have to do all that. I'm about to go look you up on my computation. I'm about to computation you. Yeah, I got to look that up now. You talking about you fine. You You acting like you all fine as wine. Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute. Don't drop my phone there. Oh, okay. You acting like you're fine as wine. I'm about to look you up. No, I'm about to friend you is what I'm about to do. Facebook friend you. You can tell I ain't got no job. I'm just getting up and doing whatever. Oh, he ain't got no job. I don't. But I ain't broke either. At all. Shoot. I ain't got no job the first. But I do my own thing now. Yeah, man. I make my little bit of money. Thing about me is I'm like a I'm like the Jewish people. You know, they keep money circulating. Is that you with the pink shirt on? Looking like you just made some ribs. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you with the pink shirt on, looking like you just that's not you. Okay, Jacqueline Gray, that's not you with the pink shirt on. Okay. Okay. Look like you just made some. Jacqueline Gray. That's about all right. Quline. All right, well, we got a few Jacquelines here. What University of Akron, that's not you. South Lancashire, that's not you. Let me scroll on down. Oh. You light skin? They do got somebody light skin on here. You light skin? You light skin? Oh, they do got somebody light skin on here. Where'd she go? She look like she just gave a child a whooping. No, this woman's married. It says married up under here. That's not you, right? Oh, I'm telling your man on you. Nah, this woman's married. Is your status married? You got married up under your status? Girl, what kind of game is you playing? Nah, okay, so you STNA at Connect RN Healthcare STNA? Nah, you're not an STNA. You a nurse at UTMB. It's UTMB. I can't find you. Probably find me faster than I can find you. South Lakeshire College. Yeah, there's just so many people with your name. My name, I know my name is a damn mess because there's so many people with my name. Hey, let me turn on some music while I'm here. Now I'm all up. When it's up. See what I got going on here. Yes. You ain't looked at your name recently, have you? They ain't got some white folk with your name. There's Jacqueline Alice Gray. Jacqueline Alice. She from Springfield, Ohio, though. There's a Jacqueline that work at Walt Disney. Oh, sweet God, there's just so many Jacqueline Gray lives in Virginia. Uh-oh. Lives in Tomball, Texas. You don't live in Tomball, do you? Just you and the pick? Nope. That ain't you then. I think she got, oh no, that's a white woman. Them's white women's. Oh, there's Jacqueline Gray. Jackie. Is that you? Jackie? They call you Jackie? It's Jackie. Jackie. Maybe so. Little chocolate? You got a little chocolate going on? Hold on, let me click on here. You said you was light skinned though. I don't know if this is you. It's Jackie. Graduation picture with some older lady. Is that you in the graduation picture? Graduating from the University of Phoenix or something. Have a degree in underwater basket weaving. Man, there's just so many people with your name. Yeah, it's gonna be a mess to find you because I don't know what you look like. I mean, I can eventually. It's not like I got something better to do. Jackie. Yep, Jacqueline. That's what all these women's names is. Jacqueline Gray. When the first picture comes up, look like this lady just ate some Frito-Lays. She ain't want to smile. She got orange on her teeth. She ain't want to smile. Emory School Counselor Charlotte. Jeez. There's one that lives in Columbus, Ohio. South Lancashire. Did you go to South Lancashire College? Wherever that's at. Did you go to South Lancashire College? Jacqueline. Can you put in the city behind my... Let me try. Okay. There's a no face that popped up. There is business owner at Thunder Gold Online, Indiana College, Pennsylvania. There's one that lives in Columbus, Ohio. Another lives in Columbus, Ohio. And then back to the lady who looks like she just ate some corn chips. So there's a lady with no face. Just the, I put in your name and then I put in, it's just, there's, maybe I did this wrong. Okay, so let me take out the hyphen. All right. Jacqueline Robinson, Jacqueline Gray Houston, and then just a bunch of Jacqueline Grays. Jacqueline Moss, Jacqueline Houston, Jackie. Oh, whoa. There's a Jackie Gray. You sure you didn't shorten up your name to Jackie? I am Jackie. Jackie. Oh, yeah. Okay, try it. You're this the only one that lives in but it's not a solo picture. It's a group of spinsters. Yeah, me and my family, Jackie Gray. It's a bunch of single working women who all went to see, I don't know, look like a Freddie Jackson concert. Yeah, that's probably not you. Not unless you got a friend named Lamisha Gates. You know Lamisha? Lamisha and them? Is that Lamisha and them? That's Lamisha and them. Oh my God. You know Lamisha and them? Yeah, I can't find your mugshot. Your Jack, hey. You know Lamisha and them? Girl, you know Lamisha and them. Girl, we went out with Lamisha and them. Yeah, like your face is hard to find. What's my Facebook? Oh, mine's probably even worse. It's just Anthony Powell. The Magnificent. No, Anthony Powell, ANTHONY POWELL. Lord Anthony, first of my kind. Little Game of Thrones references. Anthony Powell, first of my kind. Yeah, you probably have a... I even ran into a guy with my name. I'm just like, what's your name? He's like, Anthony Powell. I'm just like, really? Mine is... Now put an L in between. What's your middle name? You got to put in maybe a middle initial. Oh, well, let me plug this in. Jackie, yeah. Ooh, Jackie. Me and Jackie sitting in a tree. KRSSIG. Oh, we were so happy as we could be. Okay, let me unplug one of these. Hold on a second, people. I need power. Power. Yeah, battery was done. All right, so